So my topic is, it's more of an academic research, but I will try to present it in a different way today, in a more informative way today. So this was a research that was promoted by TFO Canada, which is Trade Facilitation Office of Canada, and IDRC. And what they're trying to do is they are trying to spread socially responsible trade. And they selected about 8 to 10 countries, developing countries, from different continents around the world. And they selected some of the products from those developing countries, and they are helping those products with a road show, with a couple of road shows in Canada, so that there can be a trade relationship for those products. So I was responsible for my previous home country, Bangladesh, and so the topic today is promoting Bangladeshi specialty textile to Canada. So we all know that socially responsible buying is increasing around the world, and one of the goal of socially responsible buying is to promote products from artisans, products produced in rural areas, especially by poor households, by women, and in that way promote economic growth among the rural areas and empower the women. So that's the overall goal of socially responsible trade and socially responsible buying. So the demand side is quite clear. Conscious consumers will buy socially responsible product and in that way promote trade. What we looked at in this research was, though there are socially responsible buyers in Europe and in North America, still these sectors, artisan sectors and rural sectors, are not growing enough. So the question was, is it a demand side problem or is it a supply side problem? So our assumption to start with was that this is a supply side problem. There are market related problems, and we tried to find out from this research what are those problems. So I did this research with an entrepreneur in Bangladesh who is involved in handicrafts and specialty textile business, Narshad Ali Khan. He has a shop in Bangladesh, 2 companies in Bangladesh who deals with artisan products. So to start with, to give you a little bit background about Bangladesh, it's a South Asian country surrounded by India all around, and on the south there is the Bay of Bengal. It got independence from Pakistan in 1971. It's a very populous country. You can see the population is 163 million and the size will be half of Alberta. So it's a very densely populated country. GDP per capita is $3190. Inflation is quite low. Unemployment rate is around 5%. But it has achieved a lot. When it got its independence in 1971, it was often thought that so much destruction had happened to the country that it will never come out of the poverty trap. But miraculously, it has done a lot in terms of poverty eradication and socioeconomic indicators. So these are some proofs. The poverty rate in 2000 was 49% of the population was below the extreme poverty line. In 15 years, that has gone down to 25%. Life expectancy when we got independence was 47 years. It went up to 72 years again in 2015. The primary education completion ratio, and this is the striking factor, between male and female, the female completion ratio went up from 28% to 80%, whereas the male completion ratio went up from 58% to 69%, which is a very positive impact because the female are getting more education and they are getting more empowered compared to the man. So that's a very good indication. On the health side, under 5 mortality rate went down from 144 child per thousand to 38 child per thousand. The maternal mortality rate also went down. And one of the miraculous thing that happened was, this is in demography, this is known as a miraculous impact, the population growth rate. In 71, it was 3.2%. It has gone down to 1.2% right now. So it has gone down to below 2%, which is the sustainable growth rate for a family. If you look at the GDP growth rate, Bangladesh is now known as one of the next emerging economies. For the last 2 decades, growth rate was around 6%, and now for the last 5 years, it's going up towards 7 to 8%. So from economic growth point of view, also it's doing very well for the last 2 decades. In terms of export, it is not yet enough diversified. So you can see it's very well known for ready-made garments, and it's in the world market, it's now placed second right after China in terms of producing ready-made garments, and it constitutes about 85% of the export. And then the other export products are also mainly primary products, and that's a problem for the future growth of the economy, that you need to diversify your export and away from just ready-made garments and primary products. So there comes the garment workers, and the good thing is the ready-made garment, the labor force, 95% are women. And again, this new employment source has empowered the women a lot in Bangladesh. So for the future, as I said, that we need export diversification, and that's where my research project comes into play. We are looking at the growth of specialty textile and integrating specialty textile sector into the global economy. So what is specialty textile? It's mainly artisan produced textile. So mainly handicraft, handmade, made in the rural areas by poor household, and mainly produced by women labor force. So that's known as specialty textile. And it's a niche market because it can never compete fully with machine-made textile product. So it's a niche market, but the beauty is in the design and the social responsibility aspect of it, because if we buy these products, it will directly, the revenue will directly go to these rural people, and that will empower them, that will help them in economic growth. So socially responsible buying is related with specialty textile. So what we did is, we had chosen 2 products from Bangladesh. One is known as the jamdani, and the other one is from jute diversified products. So jamdani has a rich history. You may have known the name muslin. So muslin was known in Bangladesh and produced in Bangladesh for thousands of years. And then with the British colonial rule, after industrial revolution, the machine-made cloth took over, and in that way muslin, the production or the muslin industry went down. And the survival of muslin is through the jamdani products, okay? But besides jamdani, there are other specialty textile products in Bangladesh too. But for promoting it to Canada, we chose these 2, jamdani and jute diversified product. Okay, so our objective was, as I said, that to bring these products to Canada and to find out that what are the market obstacles to bring these products to Canada. So methodology was, in terms of the research, we talked to stakeholders. We got some interview from stakeholders related to the sector. We ran a survey and collected some data and went from there. So what we find in the specialty textile sector overall, not for jamdani, is that it has potential, but if we leave it on the market, meaning we all love free market and we want market to decide how much will be produced and how much will be sold. But the problem with these sectors are that they are small because they are work done by artisans and it cannot be scaled up when demand goes up. So that's why on the production side, there are some obstacles, there are some failures to market it properly in the international market. So that was our hypothesis, to look at what can be done to market it better in the international market. So to give you some idea about Jamdani, here is a small video about Jamdani production.
Intricate motifs carefully crafted into one of the most valuable fabrics in the world. This is the Jamdani, a textile that originated here in what is now Bangladesh many centuries ago. Historical accounts from the British East India Company show exports of Jamdanis in the 1700s worth millions of rupees. This ancient art is passed on from one weaver to the next over hundreds of years. Jahangir Muhammad started learning the craft when he was just 8 years old.
I can create designs and weave, but studying, I just couldn't remember anything.
Today he's teaching others. Traditionally, Jamdani weavers were Muslim men revered by their Mughal rulers who were patrons of handmade fabrics. Now weavers from all demographics, including women, are learning the craft to prevent it from dying out.
It was my great-grandfather who started in the trade. If my son doesn't want to do it, I'll have to teach someone else.
This is the only region in Bangladesh where weavers are producing the original Jamdani fabric. In almost all the houses here, a Jamdani loom is an essential part of the furniture. Going back to your time, the people in this area have traditionally worked in the Jamdani trade. And even today, there are more than 1,000 families living here dedicated to the craft. Recognizing the importance of keeping the arts alive, one entrepreneur, Munira Imdad, launched a journey to revive the Jamdani 3 decades ago. Encouraging weavers to go back to their looms, orchestrating sales to retail shops to keep them in business.
The new generation of weavers don't want to get into this monotonous work. It's hard for us to explain to the young ones how to do this work.
Some 15,000 weavers work under her guidance today. She began marketing the saris not just in Bangladesh, but overseas as well. 5,000 pieces of Jamdanis are sold each year, mainly in markets across South Asia.
The subcontinent is the main market, then maybe others who live abroad, they demand a lot. Internationally now the Jamdani pattern, the motif, can be made into exclusive materials. For instance, very expensive curtains, household items, there are many forms.
As the revival takes hold, with more exposure, Imdad is eager that Jamdanis will continue to be sold. Dedication and perseverance to ensure the ancient art of Jamdanis is not forgotten. Leonie Lakhani, CNN, Demra, outside Dhaka, Bangladesh.
What we found, and from the video that you can see, that it's a very labor-intensive process of production. It takes a long time to produce 3 yards of Jamdani clothing. It takes about a month. So it's a very niche product. And so far, the market is mainly for saris, for South Asian saris, and the market is mainly in South Asia. But if we want to bring it to the West, to North America and Europe, the clothing, the textile has to be designed to other products. And that's the part where the link is missing. There is not, because when producers are there in the rural areas, they don't know the taste of Western customers. They don't know the taste of European or North American customers. So and that link, what we found was that was the missing link to bring those products to countries like Canada. That there has to be a proactive cooperation between designers from the West and North America, and they can go back and look at the material, and if they can design products that's suitable for Canadian market, then these products can be marketed into Canada. So even if we want from the demand side to buy in a socially responsible way and promote this type of specialty textile products, unless in economics we call it vertical integration. So unless this vertical integration between the artisans on the ground and designers from the West on the top, if that integration is not there, these products will never be successful in the Western market. Okay, and I will not use all the slides, but if you look at just the photographs, you will see that there are many other products that can be produced using these textiles. It can be curtains, it can be many household accessories, and I will show you some of the products. So it can be bags, and it can be like the summer dresses that we wear here. So what we found, the main finding is that the problem for export for this sector is some can be solved domestically. There are financial issues, but these are the main problems. There is lack of knowledge for foreign market opportunities, lack of knowledge about foreign market and business culture, there is not enough foreign demand, and lack of knowledge about the export procedure. So these products can be exported, but if we leave it to the market, that buyers and sellers will themselves decide how much to buy and sell, these products will never enter into Canadian market. So a proactive measurement is needed, and Trade Facilitation Office of Canada is trying to do that for the producers of Jamdani. Okay, so next let's go to the jute sector, and let's start with another video.
Golden fiber, jute, the most important and versatile natural fiber, has emerged with endless possibilities. While completely biodegradable and eco-friendly, being annually renewable and comparatively inexpensive, jute has proven itself to be a dependable alternative to timber, synthetics, and plastic.
ডাইং ব্লিচিং এর ট্রেনিং নেওয়ার পরে পাটটাকে কালার, তারপরে কেমিক্যাল করে সাদা করা, এগুলো শিখে এখন ফিনিশিং ভালোভাবে করি। পাট থেকে টুপি, পাপোশ, ব্যাগ, পেনদানি, পুতুল, পাখি, পেঁচা, বিভিন্ন রকমের আইটেম তৈরি করি। এখন আমি ভালোই আলোর পথ দেখতে পেয়েছি অন্ধকার জীবন থেকে, অনেক এগিয়েছি।
Think of jute, and all we visualize is ropes, twines, sacks, packaging materials, and a few handicraft. But the picture has changed greatly, and now jute comes in a whole range of modern products ready for domestic, commercial, and industrial use. From fashion divas to car manufacturers, transport engineers to paper producers, in every sector, jute has secured an acclaimed position. Jute fiber in blend with other natural and synthetic fibers, can create stunning and lustrous fabric that is unparalleled in aesthetic appeal with durability and cost-effectiveness. Designers all over the world are now finding potential and offering products made from these new fabrics. Jute makes almost no demand on the world's scarce energy resources. The agriculture of jute requires very little or no use of pesticides and fertilizer, making it an ideal organic fiber. Mainly, India and Bangladesh account for 95% of total world production of jute. It is also produced in limited quantity in Nepal, Myanmar, China, Thailand, Vietnam and Brazil. Jute cultivation is labor-intensive. Mature jute plants are harvested and retted in the water, allowing the fiber to loosen to be extracted from the stem. Jute provides livelihood for millions of poor farmers and their families in Asia. Jute products, particularly packaging materials, once enjoyed major world market share. But with the introduction of synthetics and rapid technological changes, the traditional jute market declined to some extent. In recent years, due to the natural advantages and development of new and diversified jute products, the market is again opening up for jute. A whole new range of jute products have now emerged. From traditional products like sacking, made from lower grades of jute fibers, Hessian cloth, a finer quality jute fabric, having wide range of use and exported widely both as cloth and bag, the versatile jute fiber is now used to produce jute rigid packaging, reinforced plastic, jute composite, and exciting new products. Bags of all types, ranging from shopping to fashion, are produced in different sizes, shapes, and colors. Jute fiber can also be used as good quality pulp and paper, thus saving forest resources. Similarly, jute yarn and twines are exported to produce jute-based fabrics for furnishing, home decor, upholstery, blankets, cushion covers, and other home textiles. Various decorative items, toys, wall hangings, table lamps, floor coverings, packaging materials, shoes, fashion jewelry, doors and panels, particle boards, and other items are also made by jute. Jute geotextiles have high moisture absorption capacity, flexibility, and drainage properties, and are used to prevent soil erosion and landslides by laying along river embankments, roadsides, hill slopes, etc. Jute plants are a huge source of renewable biomass. Carbon dioxide assimilation rate of jute is several times higher than that of trees. It is estimated that 1 hectare of jute plants can consume about 15 tons of carbon dioxide from atmosphere and release about 11 tons of oxygen in 100 days of the jute growing season. Besides, the production of jute sticks provides double the amount of fiber. Jute sticks are a cheap source for fuel and fencing in villages and have great value to farmers. These sticks are also used to produce particle boards as wood substitute. Jute plant root contains beta-carotene, which helps improve soil texture and enrich soil. Soft leaves of jute plants are also consumed as vegetable. The leaves contain medicinal values. Efforts are on to use jute seeds oil in industrial purposes.
It's an amazing product. It had its prime before the 1970s, and then the plastic and chemical alternatives came and jute lost its world dominance. But it's coming back because, as you have seen, that there are so many environment-friendly green use of jute, and jute can be used for so many products, and it is also very environment-friendly. It can absorb lots of greenhouse gases, carbon. So from the beginning to the end, jute is a very green product, and that's why the interest is coming up or growing around the world. Now, when we did the, as I said, I will not be talking about all the slides, but I will show you some of the products. That's a laptop bag, shoes from jute. These are jute can be used as denim, and jute can be mixed with cotton. We can produce textile, and these are jute textile products. There's a suit from jute. So these are wine bags. So all sorts of products can be produced from jute. Now the problem that jute is facing is again, the producers are small scale producers. So when they go to the world market, they cannot scale up, and the jute diversified product, again, it's labor intensive and it cannot be scaled up. It has to be done at the artisan level. So the solution can be that in economics we call it horizontal network. So there are lots of small producers. So like the poultry or milk production in Canada, it goes through a supply chain management. So same way there are hundreds of small producers, and then it goes through a central supply chain management. So same way, jute producers, if they go through a central supply chain management, then they can scale up their production and they can meet the world demand. So that's the main finding we found from the jute sector. And again, the other option is that in the jute sector also, the vertical integration, meaning designers from the West and Europe, they need to work more closely with the artisans on the ground. And remember, jute, as I said, it has lots of potential. It even, one last video that I will show you, you will see that jute can be used as a fiber for making boats. It can be used in aircrafts. It can be used in cars. And these jute can really become the alternative for plastic, a green alternative for plastic. And a lot of the countries around the world, the polythene bags that we use can be replaced by jute bags, and the process also has started. So in terms of policy, our suggestion is that if we want to bring it to Canadian market or North American market, only socially responsible buying will not work. From the producer side, Canadian importer or Canadian sellers, from their side, there has to be a proactive measure to create a connection between the designers and the artisans. And again, these artisans don't need that help for long run. They will need some initial advice and initial connection for the first 5-10 years. And once they understand the taste, the product design that are in demand in the West, automatically their capability will grow, and then they will expand automatically. So the initial vertical integration is missing on the supply side, and also the horizontal integration among the artisans are also missing on the ground. So those are the two areas where if we really want to help the artisans from Commonwealth countries, developing Commonwealth countries, then that's the way to do it. We cannot only depend on the demand side, there has to be some proactive supply side measures too. So those are the main policy suggestions from this research. So I'll end up with one last video. It's in French. I used French deliberately to maintain the bilingual aspect of Canada. So that's why the last video is in French. I don't know French at all, but I'm bilingual though. So.
Été 2010, une curieuse barque de pêche de style indien fait sensation en reliant le Bangladesh à la France. Construite en polyester et en fibres végétales de jute, Taratari a parcouru 9000 milles en 6 mois. À sa barre, Corentin de Châtel-Perron, jeune ingénieur de 27 ans, a pu ainsi valider l'utilisation de ce nouveau biocomposite en construction navale. Utilisé dans l'industrie textile, notamment pour fabriquer des sacs, le jute pousse en abondance dans le delta du Gange. C'est l'or du Bangladesh dont 40 millions de personnes dépendent. Mais ce Gold of Bengal en anglais est de plus en plus concurrencé par les fibres synthétiques et sa production décline. Une catastrophe pour ce pays qui est l'un des plus pauvres au monde. Pour ne rien arranger, la flotte, très nombreuse, est régulièrement détruite par les cyclones dans un pays menacé par la montée des eaux due au réchauffement climatique. Amoureux du Bangladesh où il travaille depuis 2009 sur un chantier naval, Corentin a l'idée de trouver de nouveaux débouchés au jute. Remplacer la fibre de verre par un biocomposite à base de cette fibre résistante et bon marché permettrait de revaloriser une filière vitale pour le pays, tout en proposant une alternative écologique à un produit polluant. Grâce au succès médiatique de Taratari, Corentin s'est fait un nom. Il lui reste à construire un bateau qui, à la différence de Taratari, sera cette fois 100% jute. Ce sera un sampan traditionnel bangladais de 6,60 m, Gold of Bengal. Aidé par différents partenaires, dont l'architecte naval Mark van Petegem, Corentin collecte des fonds et rassemble en 2011 une équipe de 6 personnes. Spécialistes de la fabrication textile, de la construction navale ou de la communication, tous ont en commun jeunesse, compétences et goût du développement durable. Le nouveau composite à base de jute est développé dans un laboratoire spécialement créé à cet effet. Des machines de tissage locales sont adaptées à la fabrication du nouveau tissu. La construction du bateau commence en septembre 2012 au chantier Taratari de Chittagong. Après application du gel coat, la coque est construite en infusant sous vide le tissu de jute nouvellement développé par de la résine polyester. Ce dernier matériau n'est pas écologique, mais c'est le seul disponible à bon marché au Bangladesh. Après le moment émouvant du démoulage, le puits de dérive puis les cloisons intérieures sont mises en place. Le pont est lui aussi réalisé en toile de jute. Restent les appendices et le gréement. La voile a été taillée dans un ancien spi du parrain du bateau qui n'est autre que Roland Jourdain. Le gréement a été conçu en bambou par Mark van Petegem. En février 2013, après 2 ans de recherche et 4 mois de construction, le premier voilier entièrement construit en fibre de jute touche l'eau du golfe du Bengale. C'est parti pour les premiers bords. Le gréement, dit en pince de crabe, est fait d'un mât bipode et d'une voile latine. Contrairement à l'usage local de naviguer uniquement au portant, Gold of Bengal pourra remonter le vent. Une mise au point délicate commence car un tel système n'a rien à voir avec le Marconi connu de l'équipe. Mais le bateau se comporte correctement. Reste à voir ce qui pourra se passer au large. C'est l'étape suivante pour Corentin qui partira naviguer loin du Bangladesh durant l'été 2013. Son but n'est pas aujourd'hui la construction en série, il s'agit plutôt de valider définitivement l'utilisation de la nouvelle toile de jute sur une surface de grande taille avec les contraintes importantes de la navigation au large. L'équipe n'entend d'ailleurs pas se limiter à la construction navale. Des protos de meubles ont été réalisés par un jeune designer français. Et les surfeurs bangladais de Cox's Bazar pourront peut-être bientôt surfer sur des planches en fibre de jute made in Bangladesh. Cohérent, ambitieux et bien mené, le projet Gold of Bengal ouvre la voie d'une renaissance du jute au Bangladesh. Reste à trouver un remplaçant écologique à la résine polyester et à valider le comportement du nouveau matériau à l'usage. Puis surtout à convaincre les fabricants de matières plastiques de son intérêt par rapport à la fibre de verre. Un pari difficile mais dont l'enjeu en vaut la peine. Résoudre des problèmes économiques grâce à l'écologie dans le tiers-monde.
Again, the dream is for the future is that for this product is that there will be more innovation that will be taking place and we will find multiple use of jute, as we have seen in the video. Jute fiber boats were and they took that boat from Bangladesh to and crossed the oceans. So it's a very it's a viable product. So hopefully jute will cross the borders and these new uses of jute will come up in the international market. And again, it's not only the buyers that can play a role, but the suppliers also have to play a role in terms of cooperation and new innovation. So that was my talk. And again, I tried to make it less academic, and that's why lots of videos. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Thank you.